There we go.
And now, Journey to Success with Pete Asmus. Tonight, mindset to action steps and everything in between. We are about you, focusing on what you need to get to that next level. So get ready, get excited, because we are about to get started. From coast to coast, your host, Pete, the visionary Pitbull Asmus.
All right. Hey, here we go. Man, what is going on? Let's make this party. I don't know what it is about this thing. Sometimes it just seems that we have such a challenge with this duet system, and it shouldn't be doing this. It's a $650 piece of equipment, yet it always goes and starts going down, and it shouldn't be. It should stay right where it is and not move at all. So, welcome, guys. Today is, man, I don't even have my phone. This is crazy. Okay, let me go back here. Let's go into this. The 14th. Today is June 14th, 2015. And I am just getting totally messed up with this thing because it's doing that thing again where it keeps going down in volume, and I don't know why it's doing that. But here we go. Let's start again. Man, I feel like I just want to turn this whole thing on and start it all over again. Today and this week, what I wanted to talk about on our call tonight is really I wanted to talk about some of the things that I think that we bypass, we overlook. We're done with questions are the question factor, which the last one was last week. And I don't want to go back into my first book yet. I really kind of want to go on this little journey here for a couple weeks and then just kind of talk about what's going on and maybe what I've heard from some of you guys and some of the challenges that I hear. One of the things that I would like to talk about in the next article I'm going to be doing in the next issue of Investor Quarterly, I'm going to be doing an article on this. This is what I'm choosing to write about. And it's the fact that there's so many entrepreneurs on our rise up. Like everybody, you hear the cliches, right? Everybody wants to eat, but nobody wants to cook. Nobody wants to clean up. I mean, there's so many different versions, right? And the reality is, it's true. Like the top, once you get to the top, it's not lonely at the top. The top, there's a ton of people at the top, and they're all hanging out, and they're having it's a club, right? What's lonely is the path to get there. That's what's lonely. The lonely part is the waking up at 3 a.m. and you don't have anybody to talk to. You don't have anybody to share this challenge with. And so we feel like we're all alone. We feel like I'm the only one going through this. Nobody else is experiencing what I am. Nobody else is going through all of these challenges. Everybody else has it so much easier. And that's why a lot of times we talk about, oh man, you were an overnight success. Well, hold on. I mean, this overnight success that you talk about took me 10 years, 15 years, right? They talk about all the times and all the giving up and all the sacrifice that they had to make along the way. And the problem with most Americans right now is the fact that we are so concerned at being something right now. It's got to be right now. I've got to have the results right now, right? And that's the big challenge, and that's the big problem with most of us going through success, is that we feel like if I don't have results right now, I must be doing something wrong. If I don't have results right now, then I'm not getting where I need to go. If I don't get results right now, then this obviously doesn't work, so I'm going to go find something else. And what do? We go bing, 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 and we just dance around searching for this magic, searching for this button that we can just push, and instantly we become wealthy. And it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Even more than that, the worst thing anybody could do is give you $2 million, $5 million, $10 million, whatever you want, dollars. You would be a complete idiot with it. You wouldn't know what to do. You wouldn't know how to invest it. That you didn't generate it, so you can't regenerate it, right? And that's the key. The key is understanding how to make it. The key is understanding how to put it into your pocket. The key isn't understanding, well, once I have it, this is what I would do, and this is what I would do, and this is what I would... No, look, you're never going to get it. Let me tell you something else. Nobody is going to give you anything. They're not. And more importantly, what they tell you they're going to give you is probably going to be less than what you expected in the first place. Because your expectations of what we hear, right? Because a lot of times when we want to get a solution, man, we hear all those positives. We don't listen to any of the negatives. We hear all the positives, none of the negatives, right? And so all we do is we do this half-baked focus on positives, and we focus on the positives until we get the product, right? And then we start to use the product that doesn't work like we thought it was, and then all of a sudden it's a piece of crap. But we never listened to understand how to utilize the product. For instance, Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, InDesign, all the Adobe products, right? Super complicated to get to use. They are so challenging to learn. Once you learn them, you can do anything. But learning them takes a lot of time. And here's the thing, you're going to spend a grip of time learning how to use them with no results. The results you get are going to be crappy. They're not going to look good. They're going to look cheesy. They're going to look this and that. But it isn't until you go through all of those experiences that you start to figure out, oh, well, this works, and this works, and this works, and this works. We go back to anything. When we start it, it looks like crap compared to when we finish, or when we're an expert, when we're great at it, right? However you want to word that. But you get so caught up in, I've got to get those results right now. I need it right now, right? We need those results right now, but what are we scared of? We're scared of what we don't know. We're scared of where we haven't been, right? We're scared of failure. We're scared of humiliation. We're scared of not reaching the goals that we wanted to reach. And we're afraid that everybody around us is going to see that and then start pointing fingers, start making fun of us. Now, look, that may happen. It may. That may happen. You fail, somebody's probably going to look at you and laugh at you. Somebody's probably going to look at you and go, see, you're a loser. You don't even know what you're doing. I'm sure people said that about me. And I failed so many times, it's not even funny. But I kept getting back up. And I stopped listening to what they had to say, because let me tell you, everybody has an opinion. Very few of those get cashed in the bank. Very few. So stop worrying about what everybody else's opinion is. Who cares what their opinion is? If you can't go and put their opinion in the bank and write a check against it, it doesn't mean anything. It's completely... I want to use a bunch of different words right now, and they're all anyways, okay. See, I start getting into fancy words, and then I get all discombobulated. So, and now I don't even remember where I was. But let's go back, and I don't have any slides, so I don't have anything to bring me back to where I was. But I know what I wanted to talk about today had everything to do with expectations, had everything to do with what do we need to do to get this ball rolling, right? We all want to make a change. We all want to make a change right now. But we're so focused on what we can get, on what we're going to get, that we won't do anything unless those results are immediate. That's one of the reasons that I came up with the turnkey system, because as much as I want to change everybody's life, I realize that until I help them financially, nobody's listening to me on the rest of it. They just won't. They'll listen to me for a second, but then it's back off to normal, right? How many of you guys have watched one of my videos that I do with my girls? And how many of you guys have watched the video and gone, man, that is awesome. That's great. Oh my God, I'm pumped. And then 2 minutes later, boom, you're off doing something else. You're not focused on what the message actually was. The message is about taking action. And every day it's pretty much the same thing. It's just we're wording it in a different way, but it's all about taking action, taking the right action. Practice is perfect. Well, no, perfect practice is perfect. If you go and you practice doing something horribly, you're going to start getting, for instance, golf. Let's say you don't know how to golf, right? And you go out on the golf course and you start swinging that club. No idea what you're doing, but you're going to hit the ball, right? And you're going to get the ball down the way. And if you keep doing that, you're going to get better, but you're going to learn what? You're going to learn bad habits. And then you're going to go to a professional that's going to start to show you what to do, and it's going to be, nope, that's wrong, can't do that. And you're going to start getting pissed, right? You're frustrated because it's like, look, man, I do this and it goes farther. Now I'm doing what you're telling me to do, and it's going shorter. Because anytime you learn something new, there's a breaking in period. There's a learning curve. Are you willing to take that learning curve? Are you willing to let your game go down for a little bit so that you can build a better foundation and you become bigger? it's kind of funny. I was talking to a good friend of mine, AJ Mara, who is one of the owners of More Financial. And we were talking about the fact that, at the beginning of this year, I basically broke everything apart and put it all back together again. Changed partners, changed this, changed that, changed a lot of things. Had to. The results I was getting was not getting me where I wanted to go. And it doesn't matter how awesome everybody is around me. If I'm not getting where I need to go, I need to change who's around me so that I can start getting different results. That's what I did. Boom. Immediately. You guys started seeing checks, 2 months ago, right? That's kind of weird. We're in month 6. I tell you, it's a 4-month time frame, right? I change everything in December, and then look it along. Here comes April, right? January, February, March, April, 4 months later, all of a sudden you start seeing checks. Why? I changed my system. I changed what I was doing. What I was doing prior wasn't working. So I changed. I didn't hold anybody accountable. I didn't say, well, it's your fault and it's your fault and it's your fault and I hate you and I hate you. Man, that doesn't do me any good at all. I took responsibility. Look, you know what? I'm where I am because these choices that I've made. Some of these choices were good. Some of them weren't so good. But guess what? I have the opportunity right now to change the way that it's going to finish. Right? I can't change how everything started. Can't go back. I can't re-alter anything. But what I can do is I can change where I'm going. See, most entrepreneurs, I'm going to rephrase that. All successful entrepreneurs focus on solutions, period. I don't care what they're facing. They focus on the solutions. Most of you guys are focused on how do I pay tomorrow's rent? How do I pay next month's rent? An entrepreneur is focused on how do I pay next year's mortgage, right? They're looking long term, but long term's hard to set up. It's hard to change because, again, we want those immediate results. And look, if I make this change, I don't know what's going to happen. I could lose this. I could lose this. And it's true. You could. You could. And if you do, it probably needed to happen in order for you to get where you needed to go. And we won't understand that until it's all done. See, when you're going through the maze, you can't see what's going on, right? You just know what's happening right then and there, right in the moment. You've got to pull out of the moment. You've got to pull back and look at your life from a 30,000-foot view and go, where do I want it to go? Where do I want it to end up? What do I want out of life? And then start putting everything together to get there. But complaining, finding faults in things, expecting more than, and going, you know what, this isn't fair and I'm going to tell everybody about it. Man, who cares? Nobody wants to hear you complain. Nobody. Nobody. Not even your wife, not even your husband. Look, I know my wife says that she wants to hear me when I'm upset, but I don't want to share it. Because if I share what I'm upset about, if I go into detail about what's bothering me, right? What am I really doing? I'm giving it life. I'm giving it energy. I'm making it real. And if I don't talk about it, hey man, there's a chance that it isn't real. There's a chance that it didn't happen, that it's not going to happen. See, at 3 o'clock when you wake up in the morning going, how am I going to pay rent? How am I going to pay my bills in 2 weeks because I have no money? The difference between me and someone else is I don't look at, most of us will go, okay, well, if I'm not going to be able to make any money, what am I going to start getting rid of? How am I going to start solving this? You know what I mean? And we start going into Band-Aids. We start going into like what fat people do for a diet, right? I mean, it's a temporary solution to a permanent problem. That's why fat people get fat again. Because, and look, I was fat, so I'm calling the kettle black right here. I had to get past being fat. I had to get past looking at it as a temporary diet, right? Because that's what we do. Oh man, I got to lose 10 pounds to get here. I got to lose it. Stop. You don't have to lose any weight. Forget the pounds. You have to start eating different. Period. Not different for a little bit, not different for a while, but change your lifestyle. That's how you affect permanent change. But what we do in entrepreneurship and diets and smoking and all kinds of things, whenever we want to quit something bad or that we don't want to do anymore, but we're kind of addicted to in some fashion, right? Or attached to, we build these massive bridges and we keep jumping back over and we keep jumping back over. And well, you know, it just didn't work out, but you get it. I mean, I'm back on the wagon again. I'm back on this again. I'm back on that again, right? I'm doing this. And it's like we're embarrassed about it. But the reason is we have not made that finite choice to stop. We haven't made that decision and burnt that bridge and said, I'm not going back. I'm not. I did that with chewing tobacco, smoking cigarettes, did that. Made that decision, burnt that bridge, never went back. I have not gone back and I will not go back. It's been, geez, man, I can't even believe it. It's been like 3-4 years now. It's crazy. I've lost weight. Now I'm back up to 185 right now, which is kind of pissing me off. And I need to get back into leaner shape. I've been working out, so it's kind of confusing me because I know that I'm building muscle and muscle is heavier than fat, but it doesn't even matter. Like, I just don't want to be over 180 pounds, period. So I've got to make adjustments to get back under that no matter what. Like, that is a really hyper point for me because I weighed 260 because I lost all that weight and I certainly don't want to go through that crap again. I'm telling you right now, I almost cussed. That stuff took me forever to lose. It took 1.5 years to lose 100 pounds. I do not want to go through that mission again. That was a lot of work up front and not seeing anything for months, right? And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, look, I'm leaner now. But it takes time to get those results. You got to be focused on those results. Now, I went through that challenge. I don't want to go through that again. So I'm going to make sure that I maintain it because maintaining it is way easier than achieving it, than accomplishing it, right? And that's true with anything. Once you achieve it, keeping it is a lot more simple. You already know how to make it. You can remake it again and remake it again. We keep hitting glass ceilings because we've got to break past barriers that we set in ourselves. The only person, and we hear this, see, this is what cracks me up. I love quotes, love quotes. And quotes mean different things to different people at different times because it matters what's going on in your life right now. What quote's going to actually touch you and mean something, right? I could say, you know, whatever you believe you can achieve, you can or you can't, whether it's true or false, it's your reality. And right now that might go, oh my God, I never thought about it like that, right? Or it's just something we needed to hear at that moment. Like if I said to you, look, you can do anything. You can't do everything, but you can do anything. But if you don't start, you're never going to achieve it. And that might be exactly what you needed to hear right now. And you've been thinking, well, yeah, but I needed this to be right and I needed this. You don't need anything to be right at all. Think about when you were a kid. Did you care about anything being right? Hell no. You just went out and started doing it. Now, does that mean that if you wanted to start a magazine, right? I started a magazine. Does that mean that I went out and I just wrote whatever and I didn't care and I put it out? Hell no, man. I made sure that thing was as dialed in as possible, right? I wanted to make sure that it, here, let me go to right here. I wanted to make sure that Investor Quarterly was dialed in. It looked on top of this world. But I didn't know a lot, so I just started doing it until it looked good to me, and then boom, pushed the first issue out. Then I realized things I wanted to do differently, boom, pushed out the second issue. Now I'm doing the third issue, and I've got so much more that I'm putting together, and I've literally got 6 people that are in line waiting to be on the cover, write the middle article or write the cover article, and they want to do it. Like they want it, it's just crazy to me. But it's because I've focused on solutions. I don't focus on what's challenging. I don't focus on what's not working. I don't focus on what could be the bomb that could blow everything up and could make it not work. I don't what if myself to death. I do not do that. I don't even remember the last time I thought what if. I am not kidding you either. And I used to do it all the time. Like probably 3-4 years ago was the last time I what if'd myself. And it's taken a lot. Like, don't get me wrong. It's been 3 or 4 years of this challenge to get different, right? And here's something else. A lot of times people think, man, you know what, Pete? It's amazing how much energy you have. Well, you know what? Yes, I do have a ton of energy. But I focus it, right? And here's the other thing. It's hard being on all the time and being focused because, man, bad stuff happens to me too. I get depressed. I get I feel like a loser. I feel like I can't do things right. I feel like a failure. I feel all of the same things that you feel. The difference is what we do about it. I will block myself from thinking that way. There was a couple weeks ago, I think I was even sharing it, where I woke up at 3 and I just started freaking out. I mean, my mind just started spinning. It wasn't what ifing. It was just, man, this could go wrong and this could go wrong. And this, I've got all this money out on this property and this property and this property. And there was a bunch of money. I brought all this in, right? And then basically I pushed it all back out again. And I'm like, I don't have any money again. We're like, what the hell is wrong with me? I'm like, these things have got to click. They've got to happen, right? Because I just pushed out this ton of money again. But I focus on what is going to happen. And I start focusing on what I want to happen. And I start looking at what do I need to do to make that happen. I don't look at how could this go wrong? And my God, if that goes wrong, what am I going to do to fix that? I don't look at plan A or plan B, plan C like that, right? I don't look at it from a reactionary standpoint. Won't do it. Forget reaction. Reactionary is I've already lost if I'm reacting to a situation, right? I want to be at the forefront. I want to be driving it. I want to be creating it. So I start looking at, well, what do I got to do then to create that situation so I don't have to play catch up, right? And I'm going to use 3 or 4 different avenues that I can go and shoot down all of them. And then as I'm traveling down them, whatever starts giving me feedback, boom, I'm going to take it. I'm going to run with it, right? And that's kind of what I did. I launched the radio show and the magazine at the same time, but people took to the magazine a lot quicker when I did it this last, about a month ago, I guess now. And the radio show I've been putting together, actually, the first one's going to be this week now. On Wednesday at 10 o'clock, we're going to be doing the show. So just connect with me on Facebook if you want to be connected to it. I'm going to create a link for it. This is the first time I'm using this system and this station. So I'm still kind of unsure as how it's all going to work, but I know that it will be on my Facebook. As soon as that happens, the link will go so you can catch up and grab onto it. And the first show we're going to be doing is going to be all about raising private money. Because look, doesn't matter where you are in America, we can all use more private money. So that's going to be what the first show is about. We're going to be doing a cover with him as well. Just all kinds of cool things. But I focus on the solutions. Here's what else happens. I don't know how many of you are really entrepreneurs, how many of you actually own your own business and are going off it on your own. But I'll tell you, the first time when I was on my own and I didn't have any money for a couple weeks, or I didn't know where it was going to come from next, I was losing my mind. I would go to my friends, or not my friends. I would go to my dad. I would go to a family. I would go to different people and go, look, I need help getting past the next month. And I was always getting leverage to help, to get over, basically Band-Aids. It wasn't until they stopped helping me that I started helping myself. And that's hard to accept. Because we want to think, well, no, that's not the way it was. My dad was just helping me. It was just a couple of times. But a couple becomes more than a couple. Then all of a sudden you're living off this person. And it may not be every month, but it's every 2 or 3 months. Sometimes tough love is the one thing that you absolutely need as an entrepreneur to start creating your own life. Because now if we're in that situation, I'll tell Shannon, I'm like, yeah, I don't know what's going on right now. We've got 2 weeks left and we've got, this coming in, but that's not going to be in for another month and a half, 2 months. And she doesn't even go, why do we keep doing it this way? She just goes, all right. Okay. Not even concerned, not even stressed out. She's she's having a baby, right? In a month and a half. Doesn't even sweat it. Why? Because we always make it. We always pull through. Something always goes right. Now, it doesn't mean that I sit on my couch waiting for that to happen, right? I don't sit and go, well, I'm sure God's going to hook me up. I'm not going to have to do anything. It's just going to happen. Not going to happen. I'd be homeless. I'll figure out ways. I've worked really well under pressure because I'm a solution-based thinker, right? My brain I consider as like a Rubik's Cube. But we all have that talent. We all have that ability to climb out of our own hole. The problem is most of us don't think about it. We don't want to, right? Entrepreneurship is like this to me. It's like being in shark-infested waters with a cut And not only do you have to bandage yourself up, but you've got to swim back to shore, and you don't even know where shore is. And most of us, we just go, you know what? F this. I'm done. I'm out. This is crazy. I'm going to go jump on that guy's boat, or I'm going to go jump on that guy's boat. And we go and find another solution, and we end up being on somebody else's boat paddling towards their dreams, not ours. Why? Because we're so afraid of being on our own. We're so afraid of not having somebody else to turn to. As an employee, look, we have a boss, we have a supervisor, we have this, we have that, right? There's somebody we can go to, and if it doesn't work, we go, it was their fault. I just did what he said. But when you're an entrepreneur, when you're the owner, there's nobody to turn to. It's all about you. And that's where the loneliness comes in. Because as you're driving to the top, everybody's looking at you, but you can't be weak. You can't show signs of, well, I don't know what the hell we're going to do. I don't know how I'm going to pay rent. Nobody wants to hear that, right? As an employee, you're freaking out, and now you're finding somebody else to work for. Because this guy isn't stable, so I'm going to go to this guy. This boat's not good. I'm going to go to that boat, or I'm going to go to that boat, or I'm going to go to that boat. And we're just looking for other boats because we're too afraid to build our own. We're too afraid to go out in those waters by ourselves. Because, man, we could die. And the reality is, we really couldn't die. You're probably not going to die if you don't make any money this month. You're probably going to freak out. There's probably going to be people not happy. You may be hungry. You may have things turned off. Yeah, absolutely. But die, not going to happen. What are you willing to give up to make your dreams come true? How far are you willing to go to create the reality that you want? I'm not saying give everything up right now. Not what I'm saying. Not saying that hey, you should quit working and tell your boss to go kick rocks, and that's not what I mean. But I do mean this. If you don't start setting up your life at some point, you're never going to get where you want to go. Ever. You're never going to be there because you keep getting tripped up. In fact, we even did where to go on this right here, the real estate solution. So with Strongbook, I created a platform for new investors because there's a lot of new investors coming through when I do my LinkedIn sends and everything else that go, hey, look, I've got $500. I've got $1,000. I want to be in real estate, but I don't know what to do, and I need handholding. And being honest, I don't have time to hold everybody's hands. I don't. Right? Let's be realistic about this. I've only got 24 hours in the day like everybody else. Strongbrook, however, has created this insane system that really focuses on a business in a box within the real estate culture, right? And so I've used them now. We probably have, 6 or 7 people on our team now that we've brought in that we're now building this team out that are taking on all these leads that are coming in. So I'm just putting this out there because maybe one of you guys listening right now is going, look, I need a solution. I need a way to get through this. I need a way to start creating a different reality for myself. This might be that answer. And if you go on to unlockyourreality.com, you can go ahead and book a time, and either myself or one of my team will call you and go through the whole program with you and explain everything and how this can really benefit you. And you don't have to do it either. I mean, I don't care. It's again, I just want to offer solutions. Whatever solution you take, man, high five. I'm glad for you, right? Whether it be you coming in and being on my team in Strongbrook, whether it be you coming in and being part of our turnkey operation, or whether it be you doing it on your own and starting a cleaning service. I don't care. I just want you to be happy. I want you to actually achieve your goals. And that's going to take work. It's going to take you going after them. It's going to take you getting up early, going to bed late. It's going to take you putting in all the effort that is required to create that reality. Now, here's the cool part. Success will never ask more from you than is required. But it will absolutely never ask less. You have to. You're going to have to give it everything that it requires. There is no shortcuts. There's no cutting in line. There is none of that. You don't even get to leverage this part. It isn't like you even get to let somebody else go through the pain for you. It's got to be you. It's got to be you. And once you realize that, and once you start to change the way you look at the challenges, at the issues, at the journey that you're going through, it's going to allow you to start making better decisions based on where you want to be. It's going to allow you to start making better choices based on the person you want to become. Now, you can do whatever you want in life, whatever it is. I remember my dad always said, whatever you do, just make sure you're happy. And I'll say the same to you guys. Whatever you do, man, just be happy doing it. It's taken me a long time to create the life that I have right now, the environment that I have right now. And it isn't even as stable as I'd like it to be at times, right? But what is a reality is that I get to be around my kids all the time. I get to raise them with the mindset that anything is possible. And they're learning how to work for what you want. They're going to start, Haley started putting together her coloring book, and I'm going to have her start a GoFundMe page so that she can create and basically raise the other, I think it's somewhere around $1,000 that she's got to raise in order to finish her coloring book and have it printed, right? I don't want to pay for it because that's not teaching her what real life is all about. I want her to raise the money to create that reality for her. It'll mean way more. It'll be a bigger accomplishment if she does it. Not me, but her. So I'm going to help her start a GoFundMe page so that she can raise the money, raise $1,000 to do her coloring book. See, you don't have to play by everybody's rules. You can easily get outside of the box. But you've got to know where the box is, and you've got to be willing to get outside of it. You've got to be willing to be humiliated to be successful. You have to be willing to fail to reach your dreams. You have to be willing to do those things. And the other part is you shouldn't be embarrassed about any of it. We all go through this. We all go through challenges, success, failure, all of it. So the cool part is that you're no different than anybody else that's successful. The one major factor is, are you willing to be driven beyond belief? Are you willing to sacrifice who you are for who you want to become, right? All right, let me see if I have any 14th. I don't know what that meant, but okay. I'm sure that probably was something. Anyways, all right. Something else, I guess we could talk about this real quick too. And tonight's probably not going to be that long. We'll probably just be going another 5 or 10 minutes. So if you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. Dedicated credit repair. Again, I saw today, I checked, I went up another 15 points, man. It's awesome. These guys are insane. I think in the last 60 days now that I've been doing it, it's been 60 days, and I've generated 45 points in 60 days that I've increased my score. I've had half of the negative items on 2 of my bureaus removed, and then 25% on it's either Equifax or Experian. But it's been an awesome experience. And I mean, they do everything. I'll tell you, that is the coolest part about this whole thing, because I never have time for any of it, right? And there's different credit places out there that'll, hey, look, we're going to do this and you got to do this and you got to do that. That's not it at all. These guys, they are the ones that send out the emails. They're the ones that send everything out. And here's why this is important, right? If you had access to $70,000 at 0% on credit cards, you could end up getting into a deal and make 15 grand in the next 4 months. Now, here's the really cool part about that. That would have cost you nothing. Like, literally, you would have leveraged everything. You could have paid all your payments on the credit cards. You could have made the down payment on like all of it could have been done on credit cards. 0 was out of your pocket. And in 4 months, you're putting 15 grand back in your account. That's why I'm telling you, credit cards are awesome. That's why I'm telling you, if you don't have a 750 score, if you don't have that much in credit cards, if you don't have 0% cards, you can go to creditcards.com and apply for one. Apply for one. If you don't get it, the next thing you need to do is go to c2ccredit.com and go and talk to Tiffany or talk to Jared or talk to one of the guys that work there and say, look, man, what do I need to do? Tell them that I sent you, right? Tell them, hey, Pete sent me. I want to get my credit in order because I want to work with him in turnkey systems, right? Like, let's be real about this. I'm hoping that the reason you want to do that is so that you come in and invest with us, because at the end of the day, I want to do more real estate. I want to buy more real estate. I want to invest in more real estate. I want to create more millionaires through real estate. I want to help people take action, right? That's my mission. So what's your mission? What are you so passionate about that you can't stop? What are you so passionate about doing that you're willing to do it for free or even pay to be able to do it? For me, it was about inspiring people. I've done so much for so many years now and haven't been paid for it. Haven't been paid. I don't know why I said it like that. Haven't been paid for it because it's all about giving back. It's all about creating that product, creating that environment. Journey to Success. We're on our 96th episode. 4 more until 100, which I'm so stoked about. 4 more until 100. And this has been going on since 2013. We've been doing this webinar since February of 2013. That is still crazy for me to even think about that it was that long ago that we started this, but it was. And we've gone on this journey, and there's a lot of stuff that has transpired in between it, good and bad. So get on the journey to your success, right? I had to pick up and pull the trigger and I had to take my head out of the sand to fix my credit, period. I just had to. If I want to get more out of life, I've got to. Everything becomes cheaper when you have over a 750, 800 score. And again, everything becomes cheaper at a 700 score, right? It's just when you get down to the 650s, then 6s, then 5s, and all those, you're going to be paying this exorbitant amount of money for credit. Credit on anything, right? So fix your life in every asset, right? In every aspect. Fix the credit, fix financially, fix emotionally, fix spiritually. Whatever it is that you need, go out and make it happen. Nobody cares about your life as much as you do. And if you don't care, nothing is going to happen. Because nobody's coming and knocking on your door and going, hey, man, I cannot wait to help you. Come on, get up. Let's go. I've got money. I've got this. I've got that. That's not going to happen. You're going to have to get up. If you're waiting for somebody to come and save you, wrong choice. If you're waiting for somebody to come and give you a job, if you're waiting for somebody to come and give you a handout, if you're waiting for somebody to come and give you something, it's never going to happen. You've got to get up and take action. You've got to show people that you have the ability to be a self-starter. When people see you take action, that's when they want to jump on board. That's when they want to get. Everybody wants to get on a rising ship. Nobody wants to get on something going downhill, right? Nobody wants to get on a sinking ship. We all want to get on the rising tides, raise all ships, right? We want to get on that kind of environment, not on one that's going down a rapid, a number 5 rapid, with no hope of with the last fall being Niagara Falls, right? Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that long trip down. And the reality is nobody wants the long trip up either. Everybody just wants to take the elevator and go up there. That doesn't exist. You're going to have to climb it, just like everybody else. But here's the cool part. Nobody can take it away from you either. So everything that you do, you get to keep. Knowledge, all of it. So go out and make your destiny come true. Successful people read the question factor. I'm bringing that out very, very shortly. I just got the cover done. We're now working on formatting the inside and getting that all dialed in. If you're dying and you want to read it really, really bad, then let me know and I will send you off a pre-release version of it. It'll be in an 8.5 by 11 version. It won't be the small book version, but at least it's something that you could actually start reading. And if you want to know where to get that, all you got to do is email me at pete@thegentrygroup.com. That's pete@thegentrygroup.com. All right. And then on that, also, forceyourdreams.com. That one is available right now. Also have a off-market property blueprint. So any of you guys that are getting into real estate and you're wondering, how can I find some off-market properties? This is a good little 30-page, 35-page ebook that you can check out. This Thursday at 5 p.m. That is wrong. It is 5 p.m. I don't want to show that. 5 p.m. Off-market property with massive profit. Free webinar. Sign up at ourfreewebinar.com. The cool part is right before you start that, and in fact, if you're really dying to see it, you can go to Begin the Webinar. Begin the Webinar. You're going to see a short 10-minute video. Then you'll put in your information real quick, and you'll be pushed to the webinar that I did last week, which was, I think it was awesome. I talked about a lot of new things that showing how to leverage and how that all works. But I'm also going to be doing another one this Thursday at 5 o'clock. And as always, in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing our workshop in Phoenix. So if you're thinking about coming to that, make sure you go to beginthewebinar.com right now, watch that webinar, and see how you can get pushed through, see how you can get to this upcoming event, because I promise you a lot of cool stuff is going to be happening there as well. All right, and then here is my new logo for the Asmus Media Group. In fact, I've even changed this top part up here. It no longer looks like that either. And I can't wait to show you guys the new logo. So Asmus Media Group is definitely in effect now. We've got 2 magazines, we've got a radio show, and we've got a marketing company that is all within our media group. So guys, thank you so much for listening to me today. I am out of here, man. It is 7:45. I am excited. Next weekend is Father's Day, so I'm probably not going to be doing a webinar then. The weekend after that is my event that I'm going to be in Phoenix, so it won't be happening then either. It'll be the week after. No, then that's 4th of July. So basically, we've got like a few weeks before. Oh, no, 4th of July, it'll be on Saturday. So Sunday of the 4th of July weekend, I'll be doing this again. So we've got a couple weeks before I'm back on Journey to Success. As always, guys, go make something happen. Write your goals, focus on your dreams, and achieve them. You can do anything. You guys are awesome. Have a great day.
This is how we roll.